Everybody stand, we'll say the pledge. I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I'd like to welcome everybody tonight. The board had a chance to read the previous minutes. I'll entertain a motion.
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes.
Do I have a second? Second. Motion and second, all in favor? Aye. Any nays? That carries. Okay, on the public agenda tonight, CN's here from JCDC. She's got some reports for us, so the floor is yours.
Okay, so Wes, do you want to give this for me instead? I think this is your fourth or fifth time hearing this, so.
I've forgotten everything.
Oh, okay. Oh, geez, thanks. Yeah, I appreciate that. So I'm here for my quarterly update. I passed it around. Just want to highlight some things. This is something I share the same thing with all the county officials and the municipalities across the county. So, but I do want to highlight why I'm here, things specifically about Dunkirk. And we have a lot going on here in the city. So I'm sure you know that we've been working feverishly, really, on the Ready 2.0, getting those funds transferred, reallocated, it really is a word that we use, from the 68-acre project when that funding was decided to stop flowing, and that decision was made the 1st of January. We needed to pivot very quickly to look for another project that was ready to go, and so we really got the steering committee together. The mayor was on that, and really liked the Dunkirk housing project because we felt like it was like kind. There was a housing project for a housing project. We also felt that it was manageable, and we've also been blessed with Colby Klein, who's the newest member of our staff. He is actually his background is in architecture and urban planning and design, and so he was able to run with the design of a potential housing project here at that 10 acres out of town. And so we are almost ready to pull the trigger on sending out the RFQ. It'll go out tomorrow. We're super excited. It's over 100 pages, if you can believe it or not. So it's got a lot of detail in it. We'll make sure that the mayor gets a copy, and if you want to see it, happy to do it. We are thrilled that the steering committee approved, both the local committee and the regional committee approved the reallocation of the $1.2 million from the 68-acre project to this project. And then also last week we presented, Colby and I presented to the Jay County Redevelopment Commission, and they approved $300,000 to go towards this project. So we're thrilled with that. So that's really given us really a lot of confidence in this project. We also are confident, we know that for a fact that we have 2 developers that are interested at the level that they've reached out to 2 local institutions, banking institutions, and that's a great sign. One of those developers have contacted Colby twice, anxiously awaiting the RFQ. And so again, that's something that we have not had in the past, and so we're really feeling confident that we're going to get some bites on this RFQ going out. So, of course, Colby has been with us since the 1st of January. I don't think I've been here since he's been hired. He is a Jay County grad, graduated in 2012, and again, shared his background. I am also now a certified Okra grant writer, so that makes Jody and I, 2 of us in the office. We're going to start Colby on that training in April. So the goal is by the end of the year, we'll have all 3 of us will be certified through Okra to be able to write those grants and help out the community. And then the final thing here in Dunkirk is the infill housing. You should probably have seen signs out that all wraps up, I believe, is at March 26th, I believe, or is on the signs. And so once that's done, then Colby and I will be pivoting and then looking at starting that infill project, hopefully with some of the developers on a smaller scale with those infill housings and getting some other houses built in the community. So I know that's a lot at you. If any questions, and then I'll kind of take you through the last document I brought that I've been passing out about the wage and benefit survey. So any questions on Ready or infill has anything going on? Okay.
On the infill housing, again, have we got the rest of the deeds back from them?
No.
We're still on hold on some of them. We haven't got the deeds yet.
Okay.
As soon as we get all of them, I'll let you know. and then
Okay. Yep.
Next.
Then we'll need to, the next step will be taking an inventory of those properties, determining which ones that we can build on. Of course, we know that there's, 4 or 5 properties that have structures on them that most likely will need to come down. So again, what Colby and I will do is go around and do an inventory of those lots. So there's possibly lots that won't be big enough to build a home on, and so then that's where we could look at selling it to the adjoining neighbor, et cetera. So, again, the whole concept of this is not to make big or large yards for people, it's to bring new housing in, right? So, that's kind of our last recourse, but again, we want to get those properties back on the tax roll, so that's really important, so. Okay, well, the last thing is that I've been sharing around to all the elected officials is just the wage and benefit analysis report that we do every year with the region partnerships that we're a part of. And each year we contract with Purdue University to really kind of gauge and look at the wages and some other data to really kind of help guide our work. So if you want to I'll just kind of highlight a few things that we really watch closely in the economic development field. If you look at page 6, we really kind of watch what that average hourly wage is in our region. And so right now you can see that the entry wage in the region was $27.08 with the actual entry wage of $31.06. With the average wage overall, the highest wage was $34.16. Now, I do want to preface the fact that you have to realize, if you look at who's in our region, that we have Delaware and Wayne County in our region as well, okay? So we have to take that into consideration. The other thing that we like to watch is on page 20. And this is, we want to see what kind of appetite that our local industry in our region, if they have an appetite for hiring. And so we were very encouraged. This is almost twice as many as people said in our 2024 analysis. That there is much more appetite of looking at hiring over the next 3 years. So you can see those figures there, an estimated filling of jobs of 3,700. So that's encouraging. Also at the bottom, we also like to watch what our average kind of age is of our employees, and you can see right there it's at 43. So that shows we have a mature workforce, which is really good, right? But we have to make sure that we don't get too mature, because that means we're not bringing in our young folks, right? So that's the number why we like to watch that. And then the final thing is just that in our field across Indiana and the nation really, we are very concerned about childcare and the availability of affordable childcare and what that looks like. And we included that question in this survey, and you can see we were asking our industry leaders, what is your concern? What are the pain points around childcare? And you can see it's really rests around absenteeism. And so that's really, absenteeism is caused by when you have, say, a child that's with, grandma and grandpa or an aunt and uncle, and they get sick. Well, the person then has to take off because it's not like a center-based or where you have a little bit more staffing and that kind of stuff. So it's not what we would consider, stable. Not that it's not good care, but so that's kind of what we're looking at and watching. So again, we are concerned about childcare, making sure that we increase the number of slots that we have for children. And I am getting the word out as I go around that thanks to Doug Inman and the Community Foundation with Ready Money, there is a scholarship fund now set up through the Community Foundation that will help support families in need. If they need assistance for childcare, that you can call Westminster Childcare there in Portland, and there's an application process, but if you qualify, you could receive assistance for your child care fees for your children. So I really encourage getting the word out about that. It's a great program, and not something you would see typically in a community foundation, but the Portland Foundation and Doug they have a great passion about that, and I commend them for that. Any other questions?
What counties did you say were in our region?
It's at the front, so it's, I probably won't be able to do it. So it's Delaware, Wayne, us, Jay, Henry, Randolph, Grant, Fayette, Blackford, and Rush.
Okay, so it's listed in here.
Yeah, so it's on page 2.
Okay.
And we get together once a month with those LEDOs, people who do my role, and we come together and we have different speakers and we really support one another in our work. And this is just one of the tools that we collaborate on. Yeah. Right, thank you.
Thank you, Sam. I want to thank JCDC and CN and Jody for all the work. The Ready 2.0, a lot of people from Portland helped us with this, so we want to thank them and the redevelopment commission for the $300,000. If the Ready, we get that initial package, that takes a big chunk of that project out, so we want to thank everybody for that. Okay, on the public agenda tonight is Mr. Helms here.
Yes, that's it. Hi, my name is Zachary Helms Judkins. My wife and I just purchased the home there at 225 East Washington Street. It was a remodel home. According to all of our inspections and everything that was done, we were not on a cistern. We were tied into the city sewer. We had a plumber come out. Let me backtrack. We had a bunch of water coming into our basement within the first month of living there. We thought it was just, storm water that was coming in. Come to find out, actually the cistern tank outside was completely filled up, it was caked in with stuff, and we weren't tied into any city sewer. Just when we ran cameras, all the cameras that were run was ran out to the cistern. It was whoever remodeled the home didn't do it properly, is what we're finding out. Since then, I had Guy Tressel come down. I've had the town down there several times, getting everything tied into the city sewer out there. I know it was like 4.5 foot deep. We ended up going like 11.5, I think is what they said it was. So there was nothing tied into it that was going back. So we were just looking to see if we could get a refund on the sewer bill for the $103.41. It was just the past 3 months since we've been there. Not really quite for sure if that was paid before then or what, but we're just seeking just from the time that we've been there, trying to recoup anything that we can at this point. It's been quite the extensive procedure here. Any questions?
I know a little bit what was down there. From what I was told, your sewage line went out the west side of the house.
Yeah, so the sewage line went out the west side of the house, which would be there at the corner of South and Washington Street. Everything that was piped, which was through the old cistern, led into the empty lot, which was next door. And then that was going into nowhere. And it was probably, it was a clay pipe as well, but it was discontinued somewhere, was allowing that water to back up. Once it backed up, it was coming through the walls of our basement. So, yep.
So it was hooked up to the sewer system.
It was, I think everything that we looked at and stuff and went down there, it was just a storm drain. So actually, we were actually leaking sewer into the storm drain if it was actually to go anywhere. It wasn't going anywhere, it was leaking up through the top of the cistern tank and into the yard. That's how we got, that's when we started smelling the raw sewage, that's when we was seeking out the plumbers to run the cameras, and that's what we did. Since then, we've had since then and stuff today, we had the cistern completely caved down, filled back in properly, and so there's nothing that would be going to the storm drains. Everything is now tied directly into the sewer. That's all new piping all the way out of the house.
Did anybody check the depth on that cistern you're calling cistern?
On the cistern tank, yeah, it was 10 foot deep. Yeah, so we were 10 foot deep. It was 4 foot by 4 foot by 10 foot deep. It held 1,197 gallons.
That sounds like a septic tank to me.
It was everything, yeah, all the plumbers and stuff that it came out, it was.
I'm gonna let Steven do the talking. He was down there. He knows what happened.
So we went down and dug it up. He had a tap to the house. Out of the clay tile, out of the tap, there was clay tile that ran up to the house. I don't know what all he wants me to. So there was a tap for the house. From the tap, there was clay tile going to the house. Obviously, whoever redone his house, they just didn't hook back up to the correct line. I'm assuming that line was probably his original line, as deep as what it was. It was probably a drain coming out of the basement floor that the sewer actually went into, because it was, I think 7.5 foot, I think is what. At the tap, it was 7.5 foot deep.
Oh, it was 11 from grade, is what that's what the guy had said. It was 11 from grade, so yeah.
So I'm assuming that it was probably a floor drain in that basement that the sewer line went into. And them guys that redone it, they probably thought that it was just a floor drain for the basement and the drains that was up top. That's why they tied into it and ran it back into the, I'm assuming if it was that deep, then yeah, it was a
Yeah,
septic
they
tank.
were saying that when they ran the camera that there was nothing on that side, so like where that tap was when we broke in and stuff, where they ran out to make sure the tap went to the actual sewer. And then when we were trying to run from the house, it was nothing led into the actual city sewer.
Everything went out the west side.
Yeah.
Well, the tap and everything was 1983 when they did all them.
Yeah.
They kind of left it up to everybody else to hook up to them, you know, they stubbed in your yard, so what's council's feelings on this?
Just never got hooked up evidently. To where it was supposed to.
Any other questions from council? If it was never hooked up, I just, it's up to council, whatever you guys want to do. $103.41.
It looks like he practiced due diligence when he bought the house and had it inspected and stuff, and
Yeah.
then he followed through with whatever he could do afterwards. I think that giving him back that 100
And however that's applied, I mean, even if it's just applied to just like next month bill or however and stuff, I'm not seeking a check or anything like that. If it's just applied, that's fine.
Yeah.
You know, like I said, it's a long shot. I understand, you know, it's negligence on whoever did that. And I mean, we tried to do everything that we could on our end. We're going to seek legal representation and stuff to move forward on whoever did the remodel of the home, because it's, like I said, we've had raw sewage overflowing into our basement now for 3 months, and I've got 3 little boys at home, so it's going to get expensive. But if we were just trying to kind of mitigate anything we could as fast as possible, so.
How much was it again?
It's 103.41, and that's just the last 3 months, and that would be as of today, because we just got that bill in the mail, so, yeah.
Any other questions? No. Donnie, you did that form of motion?
Yeah, I motion that we credit his bill for $103.41.
You got a motion on the floor, do I have a second?
I will second that.
Motion and a second, all in favor? Any nays?
I opposed.
That carries.
Thank
Good
you.
to go, I don't know, you'll have to work it out with Kara.
Okay, either way, yeah, I appreciate you all. Thank you so much for your time this evening.
Okay, under the mayor tonight, moving on, we've got maybe Wes can explain this better than I can, the ADA compliance for our website. Annual fee for that, and what we're gathering in it, Karen.
I think they put an add-on to our website to make it compliant, and then there's an annual fee for that. I sent the council an email with 2 links that our website designer sent that he would recommend us using.
I think this came up a while ago. I mean, it's been 4 or 5 years ago that, you know, everything that you do in the city has to be ADA compliant, sidewalks, remodels, all that stuff. And then I think this came about, I would say maybe even 5 years ago, we found out that that also applies to the city's website as well. So I don't really think there's any way around it. The city, like everything else, city's website has to be ADA compliant. However they do that, so people with probably hearing and vision impairment can
Right. Yeah, can listen in to whatever they want to do.
I think we have actually till 2027 to get ours completed, but I'd rather just get it done now so we know it's right, so we have a year to fix anything that might be wrong with it.
What's council's feelings on that? Have you got a firm price on that?
It was sent in the links, how much they were.
Okay.
The website guy said we can get it for like $500.
That's what I had marked.
Yeah, That was the cheap.
Yeah.
When I looked at the two, it seemed like they were fairly equal in what they offered.
So do I have a motion for Kara to move forward on updating our website to be ADA compliant?
Motion to move forward on the ADA compliance.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Motion and a second, all in favor?
Aye.
Any nays? Carries. Okay, on our city ordinances, we gotta get them recodified. We've got a lot of stuff over the years we haven't added on, so I think we need to get our city ordinances updated on this. So, what's council's feelings on that?
I don't have a price, he won't know a price until he actually receives all the ordinances, and then he'll send me an actual quote for it. I just need permission to go ahead and move forward.
When was the last time it was done, do you know?
Tina was here, wasn't it?
It was, I was gonna say 6 years.
Maybe it's been-
It's been a long time.
I think that, right.
So it's just a matter of taking the ordinances that we passed.
Yeah, since then, but
Get them in, yeah, so that we can be too high.
And I'm hoping he'll provide a digital copy as well, so it'd be easier to put things on the website and look up.
so do I have a motion to move forward?
Make a motion to move forward to recodifying our ordinances.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Motion and second, all in favor?
Aye.
Any nays? Carries. Also, I want to update, Bon Marchi, they're redoing our zoning ordinance. I've run into some real big problems with our zoning stuff, so they sent us a copy. We've got an advisory board that's going over this, and when we get this all settled, then I'll bring it back to council and planning commission and all that. So I want to probably get a meeting set up with Wes to go through some of this stuff, because there's some of this stuff that needs to be taken care of. It's 1980s zoning stuff, so it needs to be updated too. So when I get some more information, we've been working with them a couple of months now probably, so they're bringing all the state stuff in it, and then we'll start going through the city stuff. So that's just an update from council. Wes?
Ordinance in front of you tonight is to prohibit the release of public records for commercial purposes. Doesn't mean they can't necessarily have them, right? But, it's just the ARPA request, the access to public records request where people want this stuff for. It's probably, I think, as I mentioned last time, it's probably mostly like law firms and people that are or marketing information people want to market and use that, not because they're really interested in what the city's doing, but they want that information for some commercial purpose, and that can be prohibited under ARPA.
Any questions on this for the council? If not, I'll entertain a motion. Got a motion to pass ordinance number 2026-3. Do I have a second? Second. Motion to second, all in favor?
Aye.
Any nays? Carried.
And then just to tell you, I'm going to be on vacation next meeting, spring break. Sorry, Jack.
Spring break. Is that like donuts for dad and muffins for mom?
I think this is better.
All right, you have to go.
I think I'll just miss two.
Okay.
Yeah, she's, everybody's,
Just cancel the meeting, it's fine.
yeah, just let her go.
But if you need anything before the meeting, just get with me next
Donna, you have anything?
The beautification committee did receive the grant for the lighting, so we can move forward with that for the pickleball court.
Okay, not everybody knows that we're putting in an outdoor pickleball court out in the park where our caretaker's house used to be. And what she's talking about is pole lights, one at each end, so they can play at night. And for the little darlings that might be out there, best fit.
Just move this light over here.
Yeah. Anything else, Donna?
No, that's all I have.
Thank you. Jesse?
We had a turbo go out of one of our vehicles. We took it the right way and come back with a $4,726.62 bill. Make that in the form of a motion to pay.
That went through board works?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We don't have to bring that up.
Okay, that's all I got, Jeff.
Thank you, Jesse. Christie?
Well, the Foreman Foundation awarded $5,000 to the Volunteer Fire Department for fireworks this year.
Yay. Yes, sir. I like that. And we want to thank them for that. Anything else? Thank you. Dan?
Stephen, I'll let you explain this rebuilding SCADA system one more time.
All right, so on our SCADA system, the monitoring part of it, that graphs it out, the IDIM says we have to have everything graphed out. It hasn't worked properly for quite a while now. I'm just worried eventually IDIM's gonna come in and they're gonna wanna see our spreadsheets and we don't have anything to give them. So I got a price from 4TC for them to come in, redo our SCADA system and set it up to where it graphs everything out, it transfers it to a spreadsheet, and at the end of the month, it just prints it out for us. And we can stick it in our files, it's $9,400.
Anybody have any questions on that? If not, I'll make a motion to approve that. Quote from 4TC, $9,400.
We've got a motion on the floor. Do I have a second?
Second.
Motion second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any nays? That carries. Randy? Thank you. Kara?
I need approval for accounts payable vouchers 34754 to 34876 in the amount of $213,032.82.
I'll make a motion to approve the accounts payable vouchers.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Motion is second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any nays? That carries.
A approval for allowance dockets 224 to 33 in the amount of $42,911.34.
Motion to approve dockets.
So moved.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Motion second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any nays? That carries.
That's all I have.
Thank you. I see we've got a couple gentlemen in the crowd tonight. If you'd like to introduce yourself.
Sure. I think most of you know me, Roy Bunch. I am running for the District 1 County Council seat. I think it's important you come to meetings to see what's going on. I read every day. I talk to a lot of you every day, but I got to say I'm pretty impressed with how well the meetings ran. Wes may smile about that part of it. But, things are moving ahead here, and I'm pretty damn proud of this town, so.
Thank you. We appreciate that.
Yeah.
Brian?
Somehow I didn't see Roy there. I don't know how that happens either. I'm on county council. I am running for commissioner. The council's role really, right, is to be the check and balance on the money, and we're not a policy-making board. I agree, though, and with Roy, because I'm running for commissioner, I'm just going around to see what everybody's
doing and talking about and seeing what the concerns are. But I will say, and what's interesting to me, I was on the school board two terms, and the amount of phone calls you get is amazingly zero. No one ever calls you. And I'd encourage you guys, if you've got an issue about the city or just personally, pick up the phone. We've got a great group of people that are elected officials at the county level that want to hear from you. I've even gone on, for some reason, Facebook sometimes when people are going off on rants. I put my name and number on there to give me a call. Zero. Nobody ever calls me, which kind of blows my mind. But I want to say this. I grew up here. We're all old enough to know the east-west thing here, right? And when I was on the school board, Frank Vormore was elected right before me. This would have been early 2000s. He was the first Jay County High School graduate to get elected to the school board. And then a bunch of us came in I'm 58, so I would have been the 10th class, I guess, at Jay County. So there was a different, but it was still there. It was still there. It was always this back and forth. And I just want to tell you, and Jack, I've gotten to know Jack a little bit. We're on JCDC together. He represents your city very well. But no matter how good your mayor is, if you guys are chaos, it doesn't matter what happens, But Jack has represented you well and has communication. I want to tell you that in that 20-year span, that east-west thing to me, I know it's still there a little bit, but it's gone. I mean, the chamber thinks countywide, JCDC certainly thinks countywide, and hopefully we're past that. And I know people here, I talk, and I still hear it, but I guess the point is, know that, we can't always get to your meetings and you can't always get to our meetings, but we care about the whole county and we want to hear from you. If there's something, and I know Jack's a good messenger, but if there's something, please, our numbers are all online. I encourage you to reach out. And if you have an issue, we'd love to hear from you.
Thank you. If the board has nothing else, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
Before we adjourn, I'll say, one of the best things about this council room is our mayor. And the second best thing about this council room is the council. Motion to adjourn.
Motion to second, all in favor? Any nays? We're adjourned.
I don't even rate number 3.